This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning all. In today's class, we are going to see the topic called validation. So, if you take any technology, the validation is a part and parcel of web application development. So, take any technology, it doesn't matter, SAP, UI5 alone. So in .NET, in Java, in ADF, in PHP, in ASP, so in every technology, the validation will be there. So similarly, we have the validation in SAP UI5 also. Okay, right. In SAP UI5, the validation will be done in two parts, and the first one is called mandatory field validation. Mandatory field validation, and second one is called data validation. First one is called mandatory field validation, second one is called data validation. Okay, so first of all, I would like to explain the difference between mandatory field validation and then data validation. So what is mandatory field validation? In your UI screen, whatever the mandatory fields are there, so those mandatory fields must be filled by the end user. If you did not fill those mandatory fields, then as an end user, you need to as a developer, you need to throw the error saying that, boss, this field is mandatory, please fill it. So this comes under mandatory field validation. For example, there is an employee ID which is mandatory field. Mandatory fields are denoted by star, okay, in any technology. So similarly, in SAP UI also we show the mandatory fields by star. Okay, right. So mandatory fields will be denoted by star, and those mandatory fields should be filled by the end user. In case he did not fill those mandatory fields, then you need to throw the error saying that, boss, this field is mandatory, please fill the value. Okay, that is mandatory field validation. And next one is the data validation. So what is data validation? Data validation means validating the data entered by the end user. Example, let's say employee ID itself. Instead of entering employee ID, I entered my name, for example. So if you enter the name, is that a correct value? No, it's not a correct value. But you have filled the mandatory value. Okay, employee ID is a mandatory value, you have filled it. So you don't get mandatory field validation now because you have filled something. But data validation will be failed because the entered value is not correct. When the entered value is not correct, you need to throw the error saying that this value is not valid. So guys, here in any technology, the validation will be done in these two steps. First of all, it checks the mandatory validation and then data validation. Okay, all the mandatory fields are filled or not. That is what mandatory validation will check. The mandatory validation will not check whether the data is correct or not. It just check whether he entered some data or not. Okay. After you enter the data only, you need to perform data validation. Without entering the data, if you perform data validation, you will get an error saying that the data is not valid. Let us take an example, employee ID itself. On employee ID, first you need to perform mandatory validation. Without performing mandatory validation, if you directly perform data validation, do you know what error you will get? You will get an error saying the entered data is not correct, not valid. Then the end user will laugh at you saying that I did not enter any value. How this fellow can say that this is not valid? If I enter something and then if you throw an error saying the entered data is not valid, there is a meaning. Without entering the data itself, I am getting error, the entered data is not valid. So it is funny, okay? Right, so first you need to perform mandatory field validation, whether the end user entered some data or not. If he entered some data, then fine, mandatory field validation is fine. Then you need to check data validation, whether the data is correct or not. Okay, then you can allow it. Okay, if there is anything wrong, throw the error. If nothing is wrong, no problem. Okay, right. So we are going to see this in today's class. So let's open our SAP project. So this is our project. So running this application. Meanwhile, we will open our view and then controller also. So this is the output of your last class. So now what I will do, I will use the simple form layout to create a form first, and then we'll do the validation over there. So I'm just deleting the rest of the code which is not needed. Okay, and there is a submit button, so we need this submit button. All right, so removing these container titles required and giving some empty span of 4 to 5. Yeah, okay, so this is my form. Let us save this and refresh your screen. Okay, so as I told you, I just want to take all the fields as mandatory fields, okay, for your convenience. Okay, it's not for my convenience, so that I can show you with all the fields as mandatory. You already know that to denote a field as a mandatory, you need to provide a asterisk symbol for that particular label. So go to the label and write required equal to true, which automatically provide you an asterisk symbol. Okay, so required equal to true, required equal to true, required true, and last one required equal to true. Now if you save this and if you refresh your application, so you can find a star symbol for all the fields. Okay. The next important thing is we need to provide the IDs for these input fields, because we'll be reading the value from the input fields and we'll be setting the error, removing the error. Okay, so we'll do all these things. So we need to set an ID for the input fields, which is mandatory. Okay, so I'm giving the ID here. So I follow the naming convention here. So ID equal to ID input field, so IP, and this is employee ID, so I'm writing EMP ID. So you can copy this ID and paste it everywhere. So it is showing the error because it's a duplicate ID error. So you can see, okay, control ID with the same as another control ID. Okay, so we need to give the unique in here ID IP employee name, ID IP employee designation, ID IP employee skill, ID IP employee email, ID IP employee phone. Okay, so I have given unique IDs. Now what we need to do, The moment end user enter the data, so whatever the data he want to enter, let him enter and click on submit button, we need to throw the error. Okay, we need to do the validation. So this is the button. On press of the button, we are calling a function called on submit. So Control C, go to the controller. So where is your on submit? So here is your on submit. So I'm deleting this code and we are going to write the code freshly for validation. Okay, on submit. So previously on submit we have done some dynamically changing UI element behavior code for that topic. Okay, so anyway that is not needed now. So I have removed it. Okay. Right. So as a first step, we will be doing mandatory field validation. To make you understand the concept clearly, what I will do, first I will do it for one field. I will show it for one field for both mandatory validation as well as data validation. Then you will understand the concept. So after that, it's basically a copy paste of the same code for each and every field. Okay. So all of you observe how I am doing. Variable employee ID equal to this dot get view dot by ID IP employee ID dot get value. Okay, so I'm reading the data from the employee ID. Okay, so from this employee ID, I'm reading the value. Okay, so only one field I will show first. So you read the value and then by using the if condition, you need to check the value whether this is empty or not. If employee ID triple equals to empty, okay, null. If the employee ID is empty, means the end user has not entered any value for the employee ID. But employee ID is mandatory field. When employee ID is a mandatory field, definitely you need to throw the error, isn't it? So how to throw the error? Pointing out to that particular input field, okay, pointing out to that particular input field by using this dot get view by ID of the input field dot, you need to use a predefined function called set value state. Set value state. Question from Lalit, what is this dot get view means? Lalit, is this your first class? See, this dot get view I have been explaining from almost from 3 to 4 classes, not 3 to 4 also, more than 5 classes I have been explaining this dot get view. So getting this question at this moment making me very surprised. So in the first class I explained what is this, and then I explained what is get view, and then I explained what is this by ID. Okay, so everything I explained. So getting this question at this moment is not correct. Okay, so either you might have not there in the class, or you might have not gone through the video. Something might have happened. However, I'm just explaining you. This always points to the current file. Okay, so the current file is first controller. Get view points to the view of the corresponding controller. So what is the view of the corresponding controller? First dot view dot xml. Okay. So what is the view of first dot controller dot js? The view of first dot controller dot js is first dot view dot xml only. Okay. So from this view, by ID means take a UI element by ID. Okay. So what is the ID that you mention here? ID, IP, employee ID. Okay, so it will point to this input field. Then dot get value. Okay, so you are getting the value from this input field. Okay, so basically, I don't leave even a single letter or word which is new for you. Okay, so if I am not explaining, that means it might have already explained in the previous classes. Then only I will leave. Okay, so every letter, every word I will explain. Okay, so right. So now you will use a new function here, that is set value state. So what this set value state will do, it will turn the border of the input field into red color, so that end user will understand that something went wrong. Okay, and inside you need to write set value state error. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we need to write set value state error. So set value state error is a predefined function. So by writing this set value state error, the input field will turn into red color. And again, we can throw whatever the error we want by writing a similar kind of code again. This dot get view by ID dot set value state text. So this is also a predefined function, and inside, so whatever you want, you can mention. Okay, employee ID is mandatory. Mandatory. Please fill it. Okay. So I have given this error. Employee ID is mandatory. Please fill it. Now again, save this. Let us refresh the application and check our first validation on the employee ID field. Since I have done the validation only on the employee ID, only this field will throw the error. The rest of the fields will not throw the error. Okay, so I'm showing you by clicking on submit button. So I clicked on submit button. You can see the employee ID turned into red color. So the moment it turned into red color, the user's attention will be drawn to that field. And the moment he comes to that field, you can see the error, employee ID is mandatory, please fill it. So it shows the error message the moment uh, a user comes to that field. Okay, so it is showing you the error message clearly, employee ID is mandatory, please fill it. Okay, so this is how the error message and the red color border will be turned out in SAP UI. So every technology has its own implementation for the errors in SAP UI5. So this is how we implement the errors. Okay, this is how the framework has given to show the errors. Okay, right. Next. So this is mandatory validation error. Now let's say I entered the data, but this particular SD, step, something, whatever I entered, this is not a valid employee ID. When this is not a valid employee ID, you need to throw an error saying that this is not a valid employee ID, right? So this comes under data validation. This comes under data validation. So where you will write the code for data validation, you will write the code for data validation in the else condition. Let us understand why we need to write the data validation code in the else block. In the if block, if employee ID is empty, then do this. Okay, that is mandatory, handling mandatory validation. Else block means what? Else block means employee ID is not empty. Employee ID, if employee ID is empty, it goes into this block. When it comes to else block, it will come to else block only when employee ID is not equal to empty, which means that the user has entered some data. When the user has entered some data, you need to check whether that entered data is correct or not So the data validation code goes here. Data validation code goes in the else block. Understood? So for your understanding, I have written this comment. Data validation code goes here. Okay. So here I'm just removing it. Right. So for data validation, let us assume some constraints. Okay. So I'm assuming the constraint for employee ID, and that is employee ID should be only digits of length. Let us take age. Okay. So in your real time also you will get these kind of constraints, like employee ID should be only digits of length age. So something like that. Okay. So I'm framing some conditions for the data validation for all the fields. Employee name. Employee name should be only alphabets. Employee name should be only alphabets of max length of 20 characters. So the employee name should not exceed more than 20 characters. Okay. Employee designation. So designation. So let us assume employee designation should be only alphabets. Okay, so I'm assuming only alphabets without any max length of characters. Okay, and employee skill. Employee skill can be only alphanumeric. Okay, so employee skill can be only alphanumeric. So why I have kept alphanumeric? Because there are some skills where the numbers and alphabets both are possible. Can anybody give me one example for such a skill which is having alphabets and numbers?
UEFI.
Exactly, SAP UEFI itself. Okay, so if you take SAP UEFI skill, it is alphanumeric. Okay, right. And employee email. So email should follow the email format. Okay. And then employee phone number. Employee phone number should be only numbers of max length. Sorry, not max length, of length 10 digits. Okay, only 10 digits, not more than that, not less than that. Okay. Right. So these are the constraints that we have followed, and in the real time, whatever the constraint that occurs, we have covered all of them here. So you will get only number validation, alphabet validation, alphanumeric validation, okay, email validation. So these are the validations that you get in the real time also. So we covered all of them here. Okay, right. So let us start on the employee ID first. So by the way, so how do you perform data validation? In any technology, the data validation will be performed by using a powerful concept called regular expressions. Okay. So what is a regular expression? What is a regular expression? Regular expression is an expression that defines a sequence of characters that are allowed for that particular field. Whatever the sequence of characters that are allowed for that particular field, those will be denoted by an expression. Okay, and the user value will be compared with that expression. If it is matching, then fine. If it is not matching, you can throw the error. Okay, so once I write one one data validation for employee ID, then you will understand for the rest of the things. Okay, right. So first you need to define the regular expression for that particular field. Okay, so how to define the regular expression? You can give some variable name, employee ID, REGEXP stands for employee ID regular expression. And any regular expression will start with the syntax of any regular expression is slash and then cap symbol and rectangular brackets plus dollar slash. One second, let me compare. Yeah, that's correct. Slash cap symbol plus dollar slash. Right. So this is the syntax of any regular expression, and within these rectangular brackets, you need to define the sequence of characters which are allowed as per your requirement. As per my requirement, only digits are allowed. 0 to 9 are allowed. So you need to write 0 to 9 here. So this becomes the regular expression, and you need to compare your value with this regular expression. Okay, by using a predefined function called match. So let us do. If employee ID dot match match, okay, if not match media, it's match only, employee ID dot match with this regular expression. So what you are doing here, you are comparing the value of the employee ID that you entered, that the user has entered, with the regular expression. Okay. So what the regular expression is saying, it should be only 0 to 9, nothing else. For example, if it is matching, then fine. If it is not matching, then only you need to throw the error. Okay? Then only you need to throw the error. When it will match, when it will not match. If you enter 0 to 9, then it will be matched automatically. If you are entering other than 0 to 9 characters, if you are entering any special character or alphabet, anything other than 0 to 9, if you enter, it will not match. In that case, you need to throw the error. In that case, you need to throw the error. Okay, right. So, I need to write the if condition in such a way like employee ID not matching with this regular expression, then I need to throw the error. If it is matching, I don't need to do anything. Okay. If it is not matching, then only we need to throw the error. Okay. So before I throw the error, what I am doing, I'm just resetting this value state error to none. Okay. So before I throw any error for the data validation, I'm just resetting the value state to none, and then if there is any error, then it will be thrown. Otherwise, not a problem. Okay. Value state previously it is error. Now once you enter this value, once you enter some value in the input field, the red color should be gone. To remove the red color, so I have written set value state none, and then I am checking the data validation code by using regular expression. So if it is matching, then fine. If it is not matching, I need to throw the error. So I just need to write the code for not matching scenario. I don't need to write the code for matching scenario, because if it is matching, I don't need to throw any error. Okay. So only in case it is not matching, then I need to throw error. So how can you write a not for this expression? You need to provide an exclamatory mark. The exclamatory mark here will make this particular condition to read like this: employee ID not matching with this regular expression, then it will go inside. If it is matching, it won't do anything. If it is not matching, then it goes into the if condition. So if it is not matching, you need to throw the error. So copy those two statements and write set value state error and set value state text as employee ID is not valid. So let us write employee ID is not valid. Otherwise, let us write like this: employee ID should be only digits of length 8. Okay. So here we have checked only 0 to 9, but we have not checked the length. The length of the characters that you entered must be 8. If it is less than 8 or greater than 8, that is also error. So we have not checked it. So let us check that also by using a OR condition. If employee ID is not matching with this regular expression, that is also error. Or if the length of the employee ID dot length LENGTH, if length is not equal to 8, if the employee ID length is not equal to 8, that is also error. Okay. Let's say I entered only digits, but the length is only 5 digits. Then is it valid? No, it's not valid. The length should be 8 digits. If it is not equal to 8 digits, that is also should be considered as an error. So, or either you do, if this is also wrong, then that is error, or if this is gone, then that is also error. So here we need to keep OR condition, not AND condition. Okay, so most of the people have a confusion like here, why we are writing OR instead of AND. Some of the people definitely, they might be having in their mind that we should write AND here. No, it should not be written AND, it should be OR. Okay, so AND means he has to do both the errors, then only it is considered as error. OR means if any one of them is error, error is error. Okay, right. Now let us test it. So did you understand this code or not? Any confusion in this code? Because for rest of the fields, we are just copying this if and else block. That's it. So are you clear with this code or not? With this regular expression, with math?
Yeah, Rizwan, I have doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, can
Go
you
ahead.
please explain the third line?
Third line.
Yeah, third line, S block third line.
Line number, please.
Yeah, third line, else block third line. Regular expression.
Regular expression, okay.
Yeah.
See, this is the syntax of a regular expression, guys. Okay. Any regular expression will start with a slash, cap symbol, rectangular brackets, and ends with plus dollar slash. This dollar slash indicates the regular expression has ended, and this one indicates it's the start of the regular expression. And within the rectangular brackets, you need to mention the sequence of allowed characters for that field. So for employee ID, the sequence of allowed characters are 0 to 9. So in regular expression language, we indicate 0 to 9 by using 0-9, which indicates that only 0 to 9 characters are allowed and no other characters are allowed. That is the meaning. Okay, so this will become the regular expression for employee ID. So
See, one more thing. If I if I have multiple conditions, right? The alphabets and the combination of alphabets and numbers.
Yeah, this will come here. Will come here. Okay. So we have alpha. We have alphanumeric here. We have alphabets here. Okay.
Okay.
We'll come to this.
Okay.
So this is only for numbers, so I have written only number. Okay. Right. Now let us test our application. So let's refresh this. So click submit. So it will throw the mandatory validation here. Employee ID is mandatory. Please fill it. So let's say I entered something. Doesn't Hello, sorry guys, actually the power gone, so the connection has gone. So whenever the network drop happened, I will immediately get a message, so you don't need to worry. Yeah. So what I was explaining, so I was explaining how did you get this message. So here you have filled the value, so it won't get condition, it will get into the else block. And in the else block, it will compare your value with the regular expression. Your value is SAD something, some nonsense here. So which is not falling under 0 to 9. Okay. So if employee ID not matching with the regular expression, yes, it is not matching. So it will go inside and throw the error. Okay. Now let us test with the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have entered 9 digits. Now submit the data. So still the error is there. Employee ID should be only digits of length 8. So if I remove one letter, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yes, it is a correct value. Now submit, the error gone. Okay. So why the error gone? Because now you have entered 8 digits and all are numbers. Okay. So even you enter any special character, so anything other than numbers, it will throw error. You cannot escape in any way from these errors. Okay. So if you have done anything wrong, you will be caught. So now the error will be gone. So understood, guys? By the way, am I audible? I connected through Geo.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Fine. So we have performed for one field, employee ID. So in the same way, you need to perform for this. So it will be a simply copy and paste of this code, but we'll be changing this regular expression alone. Okay, and the messages obviously. Okay, so first I need to read all the values, employee ID, similarly employee name, skill, email, okay, and change the variable names, employee name, description, email, skill, email, and then phone number. Okay, so here
Hello, 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 guys. I'm audible now. Hello.
Yes,
Okay,
you're audible.
fine. Yeah. No, actually, Lalit or somebody has given the message that I'm not audible for a while. Yeah. So let me know whenever I'm not audible so that I can check my mic condition. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for informing. Right. So I'm just writing this code is for employee ID. Okay. All right. Now, the only thing you need to do is copy this entire stuff, paste it once again, and here you need to write this code is for employee name. This is just for your comment. For your understanding, I am giving this comment. So in SAP UI5, the comments will be given by using // for a single line. And if you want to comment a block of code, then you can select that block and shortcut is Control-Shift/. Control-Shift/. And to uncomment also same. Select the block of code, Control-Shift/. Okay. Right. So now it will be a change of fields. That's it. So in place of employee ID, you need to write employee name. And so you need to change this ID IP employee name. Copy this. Copy this. Copy this. Copy this. And here you need to write employee name is mandatory. Please fill it. And 1 second. So you need to paste here also employee name. Okay. So in the else block, you will be doing the mandatory, data validation. So in the data validation, you need to change regular expression. So let us define the variable instead of employee ID. I'm writing employee name regular expression. And what should be the employee name regular expression? So let us go and check. Employee name should be only alphabets of characters. Okay, that means the end user should not enter more than 20 characters. To restrict this, you can go to the view. For the employee name input field, to restrict the end user from entering more than 20 characters, we have the property called max length. So write the max length equal to 20 so that the end user cannot enter more than 20 characters. And come to the view, come to the controller, the regular expression for stopping him from entering more than 20, from entering other than alphabets. Employee name should be only alphabets. Okay, so the regular expression is A to Z, capital A to capital Z. There is a chance that the end user can use small letters, capital letters, all that stuff. So you need to write A to Z, capital A to Z. There should not be any space, there should not be any dot, there should not be anything between this A to Z and capital A to Z. Okay, so that is a syntax. That is a syntax how the regular expression will follow. Okay, so you need to write the same here, A to Z, capital A to Z. Now this will not allow anything other than A to Z and capital A to Z. Okay, so copy this and compare with this regular expression. Also employee ID you need to remove and write employee name. Okay, and this is not required, so remove this employee name, and you write employee name should be only alphabets of max length 20. Okay, over. So let us complete the coding and then we'll test all of them at once. Okay, so Control C, Control V, and this is for employee ID name and then designation. So we write employee designation, and this ID also designation. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay. Designation is mandatory. Please fill it. And I need to copy this one to here. And we need to change, instead of employee name regular expression, you need to write employee designation. Hope you can understand what I'm doing, guys. I'm just editing the code. Okay, just editing the code. Designation regular expression. And now, what is designation? What we assumed only alphabets. Okay, alphabets means the same is sufficient. Okay, employee designation should be only alphabets. Okay, so this is sufficient for that, and this has to be changed. Control C, Control V. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so everything looks fine. So this code employee designation. So again, copy this. This code is for employee skill. So let us change this one, employee skill. And again, you need to write here employee skill. Copy the ID, paste for. Okay, and this is employee skill is mandatory. Please fill it. And employee skill should be only. Employee skill can be alphanumeric, right? So you need to write alphanumeric. And here in the expression, you just need to add 0 to 9. Okay, so alphabets are allowed and numbers are also allowed. So you need to append 0 to 9. That's it. Okay, so regular expressions are very simple and they are freely available in Google. So you can just type regular expression for this, regular expression for this. You will get it. You know, no need to by heart these regular expressions. Employee skill, regular expression. Okay. Only alpha. So this is sufficient for the employee skill. Now let's go to the employee email. For email, there is a lengthy regular expression. So, you can find that also in the Google. Just type in Google regular expression for email ID format. Okay, so you will get a regular expression, copy and paste. So even I also not written this regular expression on my own. Even I also copied from the Google. So in real time, everybody will take the regular expressions from the Google only. Okay, because regular expression is completely a different language altogether. Okay, so let's try email. Employee email. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. So email is mandatory. Please fill it. And here we'll write email. We'll simply write should follow email format. So email format means there should be one single @, there should be one dot. So these things it will find out from the value that you have given. Okay, so it will look for one @ symbol. It will look for one dot. Okay, so if there is any extra dot at the end of the email ID, or if there is no @ symbol, okay, and the email ID should start with some letter or underscore. Okay, so there are some formats given for the email ID. So whatever the value that you are entering, it should follow the same format. Otherwise, it will not match. Okay. Okay, now let's come to the email ID here. So it is very lengthy actually. Nobody can remember it. Yeah, this is the one, email ID regular expression. Okay, so I'm copying this one. So basically, it means that the employee ID should have characters, and then it can have underscore, it can have dot, it can have 0 to 9, and followed by @ So after the @ again, it can have alphabets and all, and followed by one dot. Okay, and again letters, something like that. So this is a universal email ID pattern. Okay, it is not something which you are giving. So this was given by the regular expression team actually. Okay, so now you have compared it, and we have thrown the error. Employee email should follow email ID format. All right, now let's go to the last one, email ID and then phone number, right? Oh, where is this gone? This is email. Okay, this is phone number. This is for phone. Set value state error. So employee email, remove it and keep phone. Paste it here, paste it here. This is the last one, guys. So employee phone number is mandatory. Please fill it. Employee phone should be only digits of length 10 digits. Okay. So here again, I need to change this regular expression. Actually, for the first one, whatever you have written, so this is sufficient for that. You can copy this if condition. And even the regular expression also you can copy. Okay. So let's change the variables as usually. Employee phone number, employee ID regular expression should be changed as employee phone regular expression. Employee phone, employee phone, employee phone, employee phone should be only digits of length 10. Okay, so everything is fine. This has to be written here, employee phone regular expression, and this is fine. And this variable employee phone dot length is not equal to 10 means that is also error. Employee phone means it should be 10 digits. If it is more than 10 digits, less than 10 digits, considered as error. So if employee length is not equal to 10, not equal to 10 means it can be greater than 10, it can be less than 10. So it is considered as error. Okay. Yeah, that's it, guys. So your validation topic is over. Let us save this and test our application finally. From now onwards, you will get every day you will get one video and the soft copy of the same code that we have written from me. Okay, so every day you will get.
Rijwan.
Yes, please.
Rijwan. We didn't get. We didn't get last video actually.
Sorry, your voice is cracking. Can you come again? Hello. A lot of noise coming from your side.
So we didn't get last class video. Hello.
Okay, you did
Okay,
not
okay.
get last
We didn't
class
get
video.
last class video.
Okay,
Yes,
what is
yes.
the last class? If you can send you the site.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, thanks for informing. Just 1 second, the brightness is too much. Yeah. So I'll check and send you the video. I think what is the last class before this one? Today's validation. Previously, what is the previous topic, guys? I completely forgot. Layouts, right? Layouts is the last topic. Okay, I will. Right. Got it. I will send you. Fine. So I need to check. So now, without entering all the values, if I click submit, so all of them should throw mandatory errors. So you can see employee is not mandatory. Please fill it. 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 So all are mandatory field errors. Now start typing the correct values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so should be 8 digits only. Error gone. Employee name Rizwan. Error will be gone. Okay, so designation team lead. It's a correct value, so error gone. Skill UI5, error will be gone. Email ID riz537@gmail.com. It's a correct value, error gone. Employee phone number 8142178601. So 9 digits, error will not be gone because it's not correct. So 81421, the error will be gone. Okay, right. Now let us do negative testing. I'm removing @ symbol from the email ID. So click submit. So it's throwing error. Okay. So @ is mandatory. Error gone. For example, you type a extra dot at the end. So I typed a extra dot at the end, throwing error. Okay. So you can't escape from the regular expressions here. So let us type some designation should be only alphabets, right? So I'm typing 1, 2, 3 extra. Okay, so it caught error. So here I'm typing some special characters. You will be caught. Okay, so like this, you can't escape from any of the error, guys. Okay, so you have to enter correct values, then only you can proceed. You can go ahead actually. Okay, so that is how you need to do the validation. And right. So once you successfully finish your validation, then only you can go ahead. Okay, like submitting this data to the backend or whatever, basically. Okay, so that is the complete validation. So here I have one question, and that is, as a developer, let's say my requirement is once all the errors are gone, that means no errors at all, then only I want to go ahead and write my next logic. For example, my next logic is to submit this data to SAP, for example, just assume. Okay, so in that case, first of all, as a developer, I should be knowing that all the errors are gone, then only I can write that code. So where can I write the code for that? So let's say I have to write the code to submit this data to SAP. What code you write to submit the data for SAP, you keep it aside, okay? Because that is not our job in today's class. That is our job in our future class, okay? But first of all, to write that code, I should be knowing that, okay, now all no errors are there in the screen, so I can write the code for submitting the data to the SAP. So can any one of the audience here can tell me, so what is the logic that we can implement to make sure that no errors are there in the screen, now we can write the code. So temporarily, for example, when there are no errors on the screen, you want to display, okay, the moment I click on submit, and if there are no errors, I want to show a simple alert box. Simple alert box. You already know what is an alert box, right? So I just want to show a alert box saying that there are no errors. I just want to show that error. So can anybody tell me
Maybe get
what
that
could
value
be
state.
the logic that I can implement for the same? Get that?
Value state.
Come on once again.
We
Value
are setting
state.
value
Okay.
state.
Okay, right. So you mean to say get the value state of each and every input field, check whether the value state is error or not. If there is error state is none, that means no errors. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that's one of the good answer. It's a really good answer. So what Nag is saying, so at the end of your logic, so you can write if this dot get view by ID of the first field dot get value state equal to none, and again and condition, second field equals to none, third field get value state equals to none. So if all of the value states are none, then you can write the code for submitting the data to SAP, because none of the field is throwing error. Yes, that is correct. Any other? But writing that logic in a if condition, you have 6 fields here. For 6 fields, you need to write 5 AND conditions in the if statement. Writing 5 AND conditions in the if statement is not as per the standard of JavaScript. Let's say you have 20 fields. Now you have 6 fields, that is fine. Let us take a real-time case where you have 20 fields. Will you write 19 AND conditions in the if condition? In case of 19 fields, how many AND conditions you need to write? 19 AND conditions you need to write. Okay. So writing those many AND conditions is not a recommended way of coding. So is there any alternative? It will work, guys. Now, whatever the answer given by Nag, it is 100% correct. It will work. But is there any better way of writing that? Any better way you can think for this?
You can define a flag kind of thing and you can check, right?
Super. Exactly. Super. Actually, that was the answer I was looking for. Okay. So anyway, I got it. Okay. So thanks, Nag. That's a perfect answer. So all of you observe, I'm writing one code. So you can understand the code very easily. So I'm defining a variable like all fine, okay, equals to, initially a value called true, all fine true. Now what I will do, whenever something is not fine, means employee ID equal to empty, means it is not fine. So I will immediately make it false. Okay. And here also, employee ID is not matching with the regular expression, means it is not fine. Okay. So make it false. Okay. So wherever it is not fine, you make it false. Okay. So in the if condition as well as in the mandatory value condition. So by this time you might have understand the logic, what I will do next. Any guesses what I will do?
If it is true, then you will raise alert.
Exactly. If all fine equals to true. True means there are no errors. Guys, if there is any error, if it is a mandatory error or data validation error, you are making all fine to false. Okay, see, the value true will be true till the end only when there are no errors. If there is if there is at least a single error also, the all fine is becoming false. So you can make sure that there are no errors or not by defining this kind of flag. Okay, so this is the perfect way of writing the code. So define a flag like all fine, and I'm initially giving it as true, and I'm making it false whether it is a mandatory error or data validation error. And at the end of my logic, I'm checking all fine is true or not. If it is true, okay, so go and write the code for submitting the data to SAP. Okay, so as of now, in today's class, I'm just writing, okay, you have entered all values. Let's write correctly. Okay, so let us test this. Did you understand the concept, guys? Here it's a very simple. It's not UI5 actually. It's your logical thinking. You might have written these kind of flags in ABAP also, in C language also, in Java language also. Okay, it's no more UI5. It's your logical thinking. Okay. We'll just see the output and then we'll. What's happening on my screen? Okay, so employee ID, zone designation, team lead, still Wi-Fi, email is email.com. Okay, so click on submit. So you can see you have entered all the values correctly. So if you miss any value or if you do something wrong, then again error will be thrown and you don't get that pop-up, the alert box. Okay, so that's it for today's class. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can leave for today. So sorry for taking little more time. So tomorrow onwards, use the same link till we inform. Okay, till we further inform. You can use the same link for at least 10 days. Okay. Okay, so last class video I will send you guys. Okay, see, till the last class responsibility is with the institute. So from today only, it's my responsibility. For last class video, you can ask institute, those people who are asking me. So from today, every day you will get one soft copy of the code as well as one video from myself. For the last class video, so please ask institute, they will send you, because even I don't have that access. Okay, fine guys, have a nice day. We'll meet in tomorrow's class. Please join by 7 sharply. Okay, so today, as I told you, in the last minute, they asked me to send a GoToMeeting invite. So that's the reason it was late. So I thought today also institute will send. Okay. Sorry for the delay once again. We'll meet in tomorrow's class sharply by 7. Bye bye. Have a nice day.